This is John with CAD-Ray, and I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to use the CLINUX web-based CAD application by CAD-Ray to design a night guard or a splint. So the first thing we're going to do is do an upper-lower and bite scan using the embedded i500 or i700. I'll speed it up here. This scan was taken with an i700, and we scanned the full upper arch in about 45 seconds, as you can see here, and then we went and scanned the full palette as well, and that whole scan took about a minute. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the number of images and the full scan time. So you can see in about 45 seconds, we've got everything we need. And then we'll go ahead and do the palette just for fun to demonstrate that for you. And in about a minute and 5 seconds or so, the whole upper arch is complete. We'll then move on to the lower arch, and we'll replay that scan for you as well. And you can see we scanned this full lower arch in about 25 or 30 seconds, following the good scan strategy and making sure we filled in all of the necessary data. After the lower arch has been scanned, the final thing obviously is to take the bite. So we did take a two-sided bite in this case, and I'll just do a quick replay of the bite scan to show you what that looks like. And there's the buckle bite, left and right side, everything stitched together. Once everything is complete, we click the check mark here and we render the model. And after about a minute or so of processing time, we have our final models here ready to go. In the live version of CLINUX, you can actually directly launch the CLINUX application from Edit Link in the app box here on the left side. Because this is a beta version, it's not set up yet, so I'm going to go ahead and just export this file to my desktop. And I'm going to call this John Night Guard 6. And I'm going to click Export and put those files right on my desktop. This would be the same procedure if you were using a different scanner that was not a Medit scanner. What we're then going to do is navigate over to our CLINUX web application, chairside.clinux.pro, and we're going to go ahead and find that folder by clicking the Choose Folder icon in the lower right-hand corner. Let's go to the desktop. Let's find John Night Guard 6 and choose the folder. And CLINUX will automatically bring this folder into the design screen here. CLINUX will then ask me if I want to make a prosthetic or a splint. Let's call it a splint. Upper or lower, let's choose upper. We can choose to put in patient information if we want, or we can just click skip for now. It'll bring in the model into the design scene, and the first step is to draw the guard line. You'll double click where you want to start the finish line for the guard. And what's pretty neat is as I give it single clicks around, I can choose where I want to put the finish line for the guard, on the teeth or on the gingiva. I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way down. And what's cool is the camera view will kind of follow me around and let me draw the guard line wherever I like. So if I come up around the molars, for example, you can choose to put the finish line wherever you like in your clinical situation. So the end user has the ultimate say in where the guard ultimately fits and starts and finishes. So when we come to the end, and if you don't like the move that you made, you can just right-click, come to the end and double-click to finish. And now we have the guard line in, and we can make any changes to it, of course. If there's any errors or anything you'd like to fix, you can certainly do that. But everything is looking pretty good. Ignore the Facebook messages. Let's click Next, and we'll then look for undercuts and choose the path of insertion. Overall looks pretty good. Let's choose the next button and let CLINUX calculate the guard. So after about 15-20 seconds of calculation time, CLINUX has calculated our splint design. This is a flat plane splint. There's 3 options for flatness, going from anatomical, medium to all the way flat. I chose the flattest option, and now we can change, using our tools, we can make any changes. So I can add or subtract material from the splint using the tool, or I can smooth out certain areas of the splint. So now we're in the design phase, and you can make any changes to the splint that you would like. Once you're happy with the overall splint design, you can go ahead and click the Export button, and it'll automatically export this case back to the same folder that it came from, so that John Night Guard 6 folder. So if I go here to my file folder, and I navigate down to my John Night Guard 6, you can see I have my splint design right here. And what's cool is I have my PC set up to auto-launch Rayware, which is the Sprint Ray software. So go ahead and double-click. And it'll automatically bring this splint design right into Rayware for nesting. So Rayware will launch. And I will nest this design the way I want it, usually on about a 45-degree angle or so. Bring it up a little bit. Click Fix. and it'll automatically calculate the supports. No, let's try that one more time. And bring that close to the base plate and fix. And we'll get our support structure. And now we can go ahead and print this on the rayware using about 6 milliliters of Sprint Night Guard firm resin. So that's a quick design using the CAD-Ray CLINUX software. Any team or auxiliary member can design a splint in about 1 to 2 minutes with a scan from any intraoral scanner or direct launch from Medit. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.